Hey everybody, I'm going to give a little presentation here on Thomas Jefferson. A lot of people know most of his accomplishments while he was in office and such, and his contributions to the Revolution. There's a lot of personal things that a lot of people don't know. Like one of the things was he was an avid archaeologist and a paleontologist. He actually kept some mastodon bones around. He had a lot of different fossils. He was an architect. He was an avid architect, and he actually designed Monticello. Monticello meaning actually Little Mountain. He was a wonderful student. They say that when he was studying at William and Mary, that he would study for 15 hours a day, and then afterwards several hours on his violin. He was an avid musician. He was a wine connoisseur. He loved wines and actually food too. He uh, he was the inspiration for a lot of different foods, such as ice cream, that caught hold in the Americas after he endorsed them because he liked them so much. He was a gardener, loved gardening. He was a farmer, so obviously he was a gardener, but he actually kept tools, gardening tools, in the White House when he was serving there so that when he caught the fancy, he could get up and go do some gardening on a whim. He was an astrologist. He loved looking at the stars as much as he did writing books and reading books. He loved looking and studying the stars. He was an anti-federalist. Everybody knows it. He was very much for power given to the people and not to a central government. He was against America's neutrality when France went into their revolution. He thought that America should pay back the French for their efforts in our war. A lot of the government was against that, but he thought that we owed a debt to France that we needed to pay. So he was against America's neutrality. Obviously, he was the signer of the Declaration of Independence, the writer of the Declaration, the Virginia Statute on Religious Freedom, and he was founder of the University of Virginia. And he was so proud of those three facts that those are actually the only things that are written on his gravestone. Nothing about the presidency, about the Revolution, about any of the positions that he held, such as the House of Burgesses in Virginia and the Continental Congress. Nothing about that. His three most proud accomplishments were the Declaration, the Statute on Religious Freedom, and University of Virginia. He was the one that sent Lewis and Clark on their famous expedition westward to go explore the different routes to the other coast. And actually, Meriwether Lewis was one of his advisors in the White House. He was responsible for the Louisiana Purchase. Louisiana Purchase actually doubled the size of the United States with one purchase from Napoleon. He doubled the size of our country. This is an interesting personal note. He actually would answer the door at the White House in a robe and slippers. People would come and want to have a meeting with the president, and he would open the door standing there in a robe and slippers, and that's actually how he got the nickname of the man of the people, was because he was so humble in White House. And actually, he even made the formal dinners more casual. When anybody would come over for state dinners, it would be a much more casual affair, not a formal affair like they used to be, and like they are today. Um, he was very personal, private person. In fact, when his wife died, he had all the letters between them burned, so nobody else could have access to the private writings between him and his wife. He loved reading. He had a vast library, and actually, he had 6,700 books that he sold to the Congress, I believe, for about $23,000 to replenish all of the books that were lost in the War of 1812 when the British came and burned down Washington. So that's just a little bit on Thomas Jefferson, some of the stuff that you may not have known before. I appreciate it. Thank you.